What's up, everybody, man? It's your host with the most, your boy, 𝐥𝐤𝐞. And I'd like to welcome you to the Black Cat Panther podcast, man. Look, before we do anything, make sure you comment, like, subscribe to the channel. Like the video down below right now. Stop what you're doing. Like the video. You already see it, man. The topic is the Carolina Panthers' future offense and what it might look like potentially going forward. There is no mistake. The Carolina Panthers was down and now we're up. Look, we went out, we revamped, we got a lot of key pieces to take this thing to the next level, and I'm very excited about what we have coming in through the door. Look, let's start at this offensive line. The projected starters that I have there is going to be 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐿, Brady Christensen, Bradley Bozeman, Austin Corbett, and Taylor Moton, with the potential of 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐬 possibly starting on this line because Brady Christensen could be questionable, and Corbett both have injuries. So, 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐬 could be stepping into that starting role. Depends on how they look at camp. But I project the offensive line to stay intact, to stay full. They just re-signed Bradley Bozeman. That was a huge addition. Keeping the glue, the gel right there in the middle, keeping everything together. So at fullback, we got 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐬. Tight end, the big acquisition was Hayden Hurst. Coming in solidifying that tight end position. He will start over Tommy Tremble, Stephon Sullivan, Ian Thomas. Now, here's a number or a name you should keep a lookout on, and that's Josh Babix, which was the guy that was potentially here as a tight end last year from South Dakota State, I believe it was. And he ends up getting hurt, and I believe he got hurt in one of the preseason games and went down for the entire season. Look, he should be back and up and raring to go. I would love to see a nice potential 1-2 punch with him and Hayden Hurst because, Frank Wright likes to get those guys out there. And before he had a chance to really showcase his skills, he got down with an injury. So I'm very high on that guy. Potentially he can move up the depth chart, push Stephon Sullivan down some, maybe Tommy Tremble down a little bit, and really wedge his way up. And then, at the receiver position, we went out, we made a splash. We brought in former Viking, Adam Thielen. We brought him on in here to Carolina where it's time to build. It was time to move forward. We ended up trading DJ Moore. So with that being said, this offense now stands as Adam Thielen being the veteran guy in the receiver room. Terrence Marshall Jr. is expected to be number 2. Shi Smith is potential number 3 right there. But as it stands, I project us to fully take another receiver in this draft, whether that be Jalin, Hyatt, or A.T. Perry, to add to that receiver room. Any one of those guys that you bring in would be a gem. As well as at the running back position, we got Chuba Hubbard, Blackshear, Spencer Brown, and Miles Sanders. Pro Bowl running back Miles Sanders. I had to do it. Right now, the quarterback stands as Andy Dalton and being penciled in as the starter until we hit this draft where we know number 1 overall, the Panthers sit atop the mountaintop, and we're looking to project potentially 𝐥𝐳 Stroud as our inserted starter right there. So going forward with 𝐥𝐳 Stroud, Miles Sanders, Adam Thielen at receiver 1, Terrence Marshall Jr., Shi in the slot, and then, like I said, Hayden Hurst, Giovanni Ricci, and the entire offensive line that stood there as starters. This offense has the ability to be able to take off. 𝐥𝐳 Stroud is the missing piece that could really give us the liftoff we need simply because we haven't had a quarterback in years. We had Sam Darnold, P.J. Walker, as well as Baker Mayfield, which was horrible quarterback play. And to this point, that's how we end up in this position that we're in. Matt Rule thinking that he could take these guys and make lemon out of lemonade. And not one of those guys was worth a glass. Not one glass of lemonade did we get out of any one of those guys. So shout out to those guys. We wish them all well. They are all in different destinations right now. Going forward, this is a new day, and I'm very excited for what 𝐥𝐳 Stroud could come in here and do. I project him as a rookie to potentially throw way more than 35 touchdowns. With Hayden Hurst there and Adam Thielen, the potential between those guys, I believe that, Hayden Hurst is going to be a vertical threat. I project him getting around at least 500 to 600 yards as a tight end. Adam Thielen potentially getting 1,000 yards as receiver number 1 because he's just such a savvy veteran. And then running back Miles Sanders is going to pave the way behind this offensive line. Make no mistake about it, this run game is going to be ridiculous. I look for them to pick up another running back in this draft as well to really help this thing out, because I'm going to be real with you. If we could get a guy like Chase Brown or potentially any one of those guys that can come in and really give us some production at that number 2 spot, I like that a little bit better than what we have in Chuba Hubbard. But this offense could really take off from there. We can insert a motion offense where we can see some guys slant and go across the middle. We can scheme these guys to get open. We haven't had an offense where we had guys scheme to get open in a very long time. So I'm very excited about the potentials. C.J. Stroud will take this to a whole nother level, man. Like I said, it'll be a star-powered offense, and it's a ready-to-win-now offense. So we would go out and probably try to capture what we can in the NFC South. And looking at the NFC South, it's not too steep. I think we can capture the NFC South with the way how it is right now. Even though we're rebuilding, I believe that we can sit atop the mountain for at least a year or two and look down. So with that being said, man, I'm very high on this offense. I'm high on the potential of what this offense can be. To me, this is a middle of the pack, potentially a top 15 offense to me on paper right now as it stands. So it's up to them to go out and execute on everything that we're seeing on paper, because you got a running back that's a Pro Bowler. You got a savvy veteran. If you get a young guy that's a true number 1, I mean, behind this offensive line, you got a security blanket and a tight end. There's no more need for anything else. You have everything that you need right here on this team, and you're fully capable of putting them out there and ready to compete now. Adam Thielen saw the vision when he came to Carolina. He said the Carolina Panthers are ready to contend within a couple of years. They'll be ready. So I say not this year, but next year we'll be looking at the outside, looking in, scratching on the playoffs. This has been your boy 𝐥𝐤𝐞. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like it for the algorithm. Like the video. Show us that love, man. Come on back.